Okay, hi gang, how we doing? This is my second time trying to record this tonight, so let's make it great. So recently I ordered a deck core. I haven't actually seen a huge amount of the deck because last time I tried to record this, my audio cut out, so I didn't get far into the video enough to see anything much, apart from a few trap cards. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at deck core I recently bought, and just kind of talk about how great it is to learn a deck that's different and a wee bit more, I don't know, faster paced or slower paced, or just something really refreshing. A lot of my videos recently have just been about kind of like how setting things to zero and taking the game from zero, or doing things to freshen the game up, are really good for players, right? It's easy to get burned out on a game if you're playing it every week, a couple of times a week maybe, and doing things like this, switching up your deck, is a really great way to refresh yourself. So I recently bought a Zefra deck core, and we're going to take a look at it because I've got no idea what Zefra cards do, and I've got no idea how to play Zefra. So over the next couple of days I'm going to learn this deck, and I'm going to profile it once I'm done with it and happy with it. So let's take a look at everything. So we've got 9 pillars of the Yang Zing. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated and you control Yang Zing card, negate the activation, and if you do, shuffle that card back into the deck, then destroy one other Yang Zing card you control. So, counter trap. So can't really chain to it unless it's another counter trap. It's a Yang Zing card. So is this a thing? Is Zefra part of, like, I've heard they're part of different archetypes. So we've got a couple Yang Zings in the deck, I assume. Then we've got Zefra War. So target one other Zefra card you control and one other card your opponent controls. Destroy them, and if you have 2 Zefra cards in your pendulum zones, you can activate this card from your hand. So that's pretty decent, and you can only activate one of them per turn, but it looks like we've only got one of them, so that's not a worry. That's actually quite cool, literal hand trap for the deck. And of course I'm going to be shoving some hand traps in this deck because I heard you can do some funky things. Then we've got Zefra Divine Strike, which we've seen in the pack opening video I did last week or the week before, and it's a really cool card that I like, that kind of, this one trap card made me buy the deck just because I thought if it's got more cards like this, it's probably a really cool deck. But without rambling, when a spell, trap card or monster effect is activated, banish one face-up Zefra monster in your extra deck, negate the activation and destroy it. So it's some alternative means of negation on the board, so you can kind of have this set, maybe have 1 or 2 negations on the board, just a whole load of disruption. Maybe you've got an Ash Blossom in hand. So let's fire in and see what we've got, and see what sort of funky things we can do. So we've got Oracle of Zefra, so this one's fairly new to me. So when this card is activated, add 1 Zefra monster from your deck to your hand when you ritual summon using a Zefra monster, or special summon using a Zefra monster. As a material, you can activate these effects depending on the monster summoned. Once per turn effect. Ritual, shuffle 1 monster on the field into a deck, fusion, special summon 1 monster from hand. Synchro, choose 1 monster from your deck and place it on the top of your deck. And Xyz, draw 1 card, then discard 1 card. You can activate 1 Oracle of Zefra per turn. So we've got 3 of those. That's the field spell. I assume this is going to be really important to the deck. Just off a hunch, just off the fact that every deck profile I've ever seen from this deck that I've barely paid attention to, and it's coming back to bite me, always runs it and always says it's really good, so I'm assuming it's really good. Then we've got Zefra Providence. Add 1 Zefra card from your deck to your hand except Zefra Providence, and if a Zefra card you control would be destroyed by battle except this turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. Cool, so again it's another alternative form of disruption, so you search out a card, get this in the graveyard, and then you've got disruption next turn to protect your monsters, and as well it's kind of like Return of the Dragon Lords in a sense, so alternative means of protecting your monsters. I'm liking that. Get a wee bit of graveyard set up, get a monster or 2 on board, get one of them trap cards in hand or on the field, and you are good to go for a turn, my friends. We've got Foolish Burial. We all know what Foolish Burial does, just send a monster from your deck to your graveyard. We've got Dragon Shrine, so I assume we're gonna, and we've got Dragon Ravine, right, so we've got a few cards to send monsters to the graveyard, so I kind of wonder why we're doing that. I assume there's a couple Dark Worms in here, so let's take a look at that. But Dragon Ravine, I'm not entirely too sure if we're running Dragon Shrine, so let's see what that's all about. Dragon Shrine is essentially a Foolish Burial, purely for dragons. If you send a normal, you can ditch another monster from your deck, and another dragon from your deck. And then Dragon Ravine, if you don't know that, essentially once per turn you can discard 1 card and send 1 dragon monster from your deck to your graveyard. So maybe it's just, you know, it's definitely 3 ways of getting more than 1 Dark Worm to the grave, but I don't know why we would want to do that in a turn. But let's fire in and see what else is coming along. So we've got free terraforming, of course, because hello. We've got free terraforming, of course, because we have the field spell. nothing really to say there. I'd like running 2 terraforming, so I might cut one out, see how we can get on with the ratios. But free, you know, running free with the field spell, nothing wrong with that. And then here will be why we've got. Sorry, completely blanked there. Here will be why we've got Dragon Ravine. So we end up with either one of these 2 cards in hand, and we'd discard one, ditch the other, summon Dark Worm, and then Destrudo, getting us some Synchro 7 plays. So Destrudo, for those who don't know, if you've got monster on field, you can decrease this card's level by that amount, by that other card's level, so for free. And then you can special summon it by paying half your life points, and then if you Synchro summon with it, you put it to the bottom of your deck instead. Dark Worm, of course, we've seen in my other Pendulum videos. So Dark Worm, you send this card to the graveyard. If you've got no other monsters on field, you special summon it, and you get a Gate 0 search. So these 2 cards have cool interaction for Galaxy Tomahawk. Maybe we'll talk about that in a different video. I'm not entirely sure if I want to use that combo in this deck, but we'll find out how we can fit it in if we can. And of course, we don't have Dark Worm without Gate 0, so there's low scale, level 7. I don't know if that's very relevant to this deck. We'll take a look at their scales in just a minute. And also, I've recently learned that if this card in the monster zone is destroyed by battle card effect, you can put it in your scale. So if you've got an empty scale and you need that low scale, fire this at guy. But again, I don't know if we're going to be using this a lot other than for a low scale, but the fact that it's level 7 is always handy. Maybe we'll put another couple level 7s in the deck, get out our Absolute Vortex plays, because by God, I love Absolute and Vortex plays. We now have by the looks of it, one Ritual Beast Tamer Zefra Wendy. So if this card is normal or pendulum summoned, this card rings a bell. Did we have this in the pack opening as well? We'll find out. Right, anyway. So, when this card is normal or pendulum summoned, you can add 1 face-up Zefra monster from your extra deck to your hand except Ritual Beast Tamer Zefra Wendy, and you can only special summon 1 Ritual Beast Tamer Zefra Wendy once per turn. Not too bad. Don't know if the level helps at all. It's level 3, scale 7, which isn't too awful, because so far we've got 3s and 4s. So, looks like it's a decent high skill, and it's Pendulum Effect, which I think is the same for most of these guys, as you can't summon anything but the archetype here or Zefra monsters, and that can't be negated. Now we've got Satellar Knight Zefraxiton. I assume this has something to do with Exciton Knight as well. And then, if this card is normal flipper pendulum summoned, you can target one other Tellar Knight or Zefra monster in a... one Tellar Knight or Zefra card in a monster zone or pendulum zone, and 1 set monster your opponent controls, destroy them. Decent. Okay, so that kind of helps you break some boards. And then we've got Satellar Knight Zefra Fubin. What is up with these guys' names? Right, I feel like these things have got... I'm pretty sure these guys are to do with the dual terminal lore, so maybe I should read up on that and see why these guys have such strange names. But we've got Zefra Fubin. Right, and if this card is normal flipper pendulum summoned, you can target one other Tellar Knight or Zefra card in your monster zone or pendulum zone, and 1 face-up card your opponent controls, destroy them. Okay, so this is essentially back row hate, and this is monster hate. So again, if you're going second, helps you break some boards. Got 2 of them things. Don't know if we should have 3, but I guess we'll find out. And then we've got Zefraxi, Treasure of the Yangzing. So this will be why we have the 9 Pillars of the Yangzing in the deck. And again, so it shows that kind of Zefra crosses different archetypes. Again, not really sure why, but I'm going to find out for you guys. You guys probably know more than me, to be fair. So for this card, if this card is pendulum summoned or special summoned from the main deck, you can target 1 Yangzing or Zefra monster you control, except Zefraxi, Treasure of the Yangzing, and that face-up monster is treated as a tuner this turn. Cool, so it's kind of got that odd-eye synchron effect. Also place this card in the bottom of the deck when it leaves the field. It's got that Destrudo effect, and you can only use that effect once per turn. That's fine. Again, level 3s, maybe we can do some rank 3 plays if that's possible. Then we've got Zefra Nui, Secret of the Yangzing. Zefra Nui, what are you doing? When this card is pendulum summoned or when this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, while in your monster zone you can add 1 Yangzing or Zefra spell or trap from your deck to your hand. That's pretty cool. This has some obvious Electromite synergies, getting some extra pluses from the deck. But the shame is it has to be in a monster zone, so it can't be stacked with the Electromite draw effect. But that's fine. Not the end of the world, is it? We've got 2 of them, and we've got Zefraf. Right, this looks like a boss monster if I have ever seen one. So, Zefraf, what do you do? It's actually got a pendulum effect. During your main phase, you can add 1 Zefra pendulum monster from your deck to your extra deck face up. Okay, load up your extra deck, always good. And if you do, change this card's pendulum scale to the same as that pendulum monster's until the end of this turn. And you can only use this effect of Zefra once per turn. If only there was like a Zefra monster with a 12 scale, that would make my life beautiful. For the for the monster effect, cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your face-up extra deck by attributing all monsters you control, including at least 3 Zefra monsters, and cannot be special summoned by other ways. After you special summon this card, you can conduct 1 pendulum summon of a Zefra monster or monsters during the main phase this turn, in addition to your pendulum summon. You can only gain this effect once per turn. And once per turn, you contribute 1 monster, special summon 1 Zefra monster from your deck. Okay, so that's not a boss monster that I'll be summoning ever, but its scale effect looks pretty cool. Pretty much guarantees you if you've got high scale, this gives you low scale, and vice versa. So pretty obvious that's a mandatory free of. Now, the main deck, of course, is just a deck core that I ordered, so this still has some filling out to do. So we're going to add some hand traps, we're going to add some other Electromite Turbo engines, right? We've got Dark Worm in there, maybe we'll do Mythical Beast. We're definitely going to do Chronograph because I love Chronograph Sorcerer, and it's a scale 8, so if we have that in our scale, Zefra as our low scale, we can potentially add another level 7 to the deck, maybe another Gate 0, and then get off our rank 7 place. Or we might have other things that we can do, so we'll take a look at that just as part of the deck building process. But just now we're here to semi-review, semi-learn what these cards do. So Constellar Ptolemy M7. So this card has a bit of an effect. So it's 2 level 6 monsters. You can also Xyz summon this card using a Constellar monster. A Constellar Xyz monster I control as an Xyz material, other than Constellar Ptolemy M7. The Xyz materials attached to that card become this guy's Xyz materials. But if I summon it this way, I can't use the following effect. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from the card, then target 1 monster on the field or in either player's graveyards, return them to the hand. So it targets, but it bounces. So if you've got anything that doesn't like destruction, this will get around that, and it's a rank 6. Looks like we've got a lot of level 6s in the deck, so that's fine. Speaking of rank 6, we've got Photon Strike Bouncer. Once per turn during either player's turn when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's side of the field, so quickie. You can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, negate the effect, and if you do, inflict 1000 damage to your opponent. Cool, so negation and burn might be good in game 3. Zefra Metaltron, this is a card I'm kind of familiar with. I use him mainly just to get out Vortex, and for the fact that he's got 3 down point arrows. But let's take a look. So if a monster this card points to that was special summoned from the extra deck is destroyed by battle or opponent's card effects, add 1 monster from your graveyard or face up pendulum monster from your extra deck to your hand. Not bad. And you can target 1 monster on each player's field that was special summoned from the extra deck, except this card banish both until the end phase. So if they've got a relatively weak-ish board, you can use this to kind of break that a little bit more and then go in for the kill. But I really like Zefra Metaltron, mostly just for the art. I mean, that's gorgeous. I really wish this card came in secret. Hopefully one day it'll get that rarity bump that it deserves. Now we've got Underclock Taker. Underclock Taker is just an always really good link to have. Of course, we are going to shove Electromite in this deck, so I don't know how often we're going to get that Underclock Taker usage, but we're going to use it sometimes because, again, it helps you OTK, helps you go in for the kill. Starter Charge Warrior. Okay, so first of all, hit Secret Gold Rare. Gold Secret Rare? I'm not entirely sure what you call it, but it's beautiful. I know not everyone is a fan of this, but god damn, whoever sold this to me has kept this card fairly good, and it looks gorgeous. So what do you do, my friend? When this card is synchro summoned, you can draw 1 card. Right, in fact, I remember what this does now. So the draw effect, you do that as Chainlink 1, Oracle of Zefra, Chainlink 2, stack an Ash Blossom at the top of your deck, draw 1 with this guy, and there you go. You've got a wee bit more disruption. I have taken a look at Zefra before, of course. I don't just buy deck cores blind, so I've heard 1 or 2 of the combos, and this is pretty much the main one that I've heard. So I'm liking that. And we have Vermilion Dragon Mech. So 1 tuner more. Yep, so fairly generic. Once per turn you can banish 1 tuner from your hand, field or graveyard. I'm not entirely sure how often we're going to have them there. Then target 1 card in the field, destroy it. And if this synchro summoned card is destroyed by card effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 of your banished tuners, add it to your hand, so it's got a wee bit of recursion for the tuner that it gets rid of, which is pretty cool. And it's a level 9, so we'll be making that fairly often, I assume. Then we've got Black Rose Dragon. I think we all know what Black Rose Dragon does. It's pretty much Dark Hole when it's summoned. It's got a second effect, but that's involving plant monsters, and we don't run any of their bollocks. So, Dark Hole. Really cool card. Again, gold rare. Big fan. We've got Baxia, Brightness of the Yang Zing, and these. Oh God, that's an effect right there. So we'll take a look at that. So Baxia, Brightness of the Yang Zing. When this card is synchro summoned, you can target one card in the field up to the number of different original attributes of the worm monsters used. Okay, yep, so its materials are also worm monsters. Okay, that's fine. Used for the synchro summon of this card, shuffle them into the deck, so that's really cool. Again, it targets, but if you use, you know, maybe 2 or 3 different cards, you can shuffle 2 or 3 different monsters. I don't know how possible that is, but we're going to find out. 2 definitely, because that guy who turns it into a tuner, plus, you know, any of our level 6s for a level 3. But let's not get caught up there, we're just learning just now. And once per turn, you can target one card you control and one level 4 lower monster in your graveyard, destroy that card in the field, and if you do, special summon that other monster from the graveyard. So again, we're playing a pendulum deck, so I don't know how important that's going to be, but it may come in handy. And then we have Xiaofang, Phantom of the Yang Zing. So this card looks like it's got a really long effect, so let's find out what this card does. So when a synchro summon card is on the field, your opponent cannot activate effects of the monsters with the same original attribute as the Yang Zing monsters used for the synchro summon. That seems pretty cool. Okay, and when a synchro summoned card is destroyed by battle or card effects and sent to the graveyard, can you you can add one tuner monster from your deck to your hand once per turn. When a monster or monsters your opponent controls is destroyed by battle card effect, you can special summon one worm type monster from your deck in defense position, whose original attribute matches the original attribute of that one of the destroyed monsters had on the field. So that's pretty cool. We've got fairly generic attributes, you know, things that most decks run, like lights and darks in the deck. I actually haven't been paying attention to the attributes, but it seems like these guys pay attention, so we might have some plays there as well. And the final extra deck card, we have Yazi, Evil of the Yang Zing. So one tuner, so that's fine, generic enough, and cannot be targeted by opponent's card effects, like in that, and you can only use each of these effects of Yazi, the Evil of the Yang Zing, once per turn. You can target one Yang Zing monster you control and one card your opponent controls, destroy them. Okay. And also, when this card is you control is destroyed by battle card effects and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one worm type monster from your deck in defense position. So again, kind of liking that. We've got some synergies there with that card that likes to be summoned from the deck. Now, that's the deck core. Again, we're going to build it into something a bit faster and a bit more combo heavy, because I'm a guy that loves his combos, but I'm really excited to see where this deck takes me. Again, it's not the same as Odd Eyes or Pendulum Magicians, which are pretty much similar, if not the same win conditions in some ways. So I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really excited to see how this deck plays out. I'm going to go play it up with the guys on Saturday. It's currently Wednesday just now, and we'll let you know how it goes. But that's everything I've got for just now, guys. So what we're going to do next is we're going to head straight into the outro. Okay guys, so thanks a lot for tuning in today. As always, sincere thanks to everyone who's watching the videos and who's enjoying them. I'm really excited to see where Zefra takes me. Zefra's a little bit different than what I'm normally playing. I'm normally playing combos for days, start my turn at 1/2 the hour and finish my turn at 1/4 the hour. Not that slow anymore, really did used to be though. But this is a little bit of a slower deck where we're on that kind of that wavelength, that thought process. It's a bit of a slower deck than what I'm normally used to, so I'm really excited for that. It's got a lot of different ways of disrupting the opponent. It's got graveyard disruption, disruption from the hand, it's got disruption from traps, other monsters on field, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't entirely know how the deck plays just yet and what my end board should look like, but I'm really excited to find out. As always though, enough of my rambling. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you've really loved it, give it a share. And as always, tell everyone you know, tell your friends, tell your family, tell the mailman. You've been amazing. I've been Tally. I'll catch you all later.